Hey, on your knees, everyone. And today I'm gonna talk again about the ESL Cup and second round, but I would like to start off with a little bit with something else. I just wanted to tell you about the group I'm in and everything. We have 7 players in our group right now, and first, as you saw in my previous series, I played Monster Orc. So he was rating around 1400, fairly high. But my second round, was against a much tougher opposition, Dark Admiral. He was playing in the finals of Russian Total War Championships. He's a really strong player. His rating is only 900, but he only plays 68 games. And I think it's really, really tough. So yeah, that was a much tougher challenge. And also in my group, I have Fishstack. He's in Dark Admiral's clanmate, rated 600. And then the other 3 participants in our group are Scribble, rated 64 with over 1,000 games to his belt, Iron General, rated 42, and no one else has about Nirag, rated 20 in the world. So I had those 3 guys, obviously they're top seeds in our group, and I didn't have, the only 2 players advance from a group, right? And probably I knew beforehand that these 3 guys will advance, and my only goal was basically to win at least one match in this tough group, because again this was my first tournament, and I did just that. So I won against Monster Orc in my first round, and now I knew the Dark Admiral was really competitive and great player. So I just wanted to have fun. Basically, I fulfilled my program minimum, right? So I did score this one win, and then with in great mood I went ahead versus Dark Admiral. So let's see how this went. All right, so let's go over our army compositions. So so the map was Ashenfall, and I had to pick the faction first, and I picked Bretonnia just because I haven't played it yet. And my opponent said that, well, this is a foresty map, and why shouldn't I pick Wood Elves? And I was like, oh crap, this is great. Yeah, of course. Elves, woods, it makes perfect sense, right? So my opponent brought this army, and I regretted that I brought Bretonnia, honestly. And so my opponent, what he brought was, he has, I believe, 4 units of War Dancers, right? This is where they are. So 1 unit, second, third, and fourth in this fancy V sign formation. Then he has War Dancers with Azrai Spears in the back. And then on the sides he has 1, 2, 3, 4 units of Eternal Guards. And of course his main monsters line will be 3 Tree-Kin units. So he didn't bring any caster. According to the rules, actually only 1 caster is allowed, and he didn't bring a caster because he brought no one else but Durthu himself. So Durthu, he will have a Flock of Doom only, so only 1 pretty minimalistic spell pool, and of course he has a Sword of Death. And yeah, that was for my opponent. And you can see he deployed very compactly. He doesn't have any heal going on, so he didn't really have to like blow up. But anyway, I think it's it's a reasonable deployment. And then so he's advancing towards me from the forest. And as for me, I brought 2 Royal Pegasus Knights because I just wanted to counter his monsters if he brought like eagles or dragons or anything. And as you can see, I deployed them pretty far because I really was afraid for forward deploy hidden shenanigans from the elves. They have lots of missile cav, they have those deepwood scouts they can forward deploy. So I think it's really important to scout. If you play against the elves, I really wanted to scout the area and detect his units as soon as possible. Even here, so I saw his blob of army, and of course he has 688 units. It's just hard to count, so I decided to put my Pegasus here on the recon duty and just try to peek at him, poke at him, and then see if he has any hidden units. But aside of that, I have 2 units of peasants just to break those initial charges. Of course they will do crap. I have 1 Great Relic. I have 4 units of Battle Pilgrims. They were originally shaped in placed in 1 line. Then I have 2 spears, regular spearmen at arms on the flanks, and I have 2 foot squires in the back. Last but not least, I have 2 units of peasant bowmen with fire arrows in case he brought heavy, you know, wooden build. And as you can see, Durthu in 4th Trikin, definitely a great pick turned out to be for this game. Yeah, this is it. As for my lord, I have, for my lords, I have a flying paladin, so he'll be a member of my flying Doom squad. And then I have Fey Enchantress. So of course she has heal, she has what's that? What do you call this? Yeah, she has of course, Mist of the Lady. She has Awakening of the Wood. Yeah, I was thinking about Earthblood. And also I brought Regrowth in case, you know, I go really heavy into melee and I really need to, you know, support some of my units with that heal. Alright, so one thing about this map, so this is the Ashenfall. You can see Durthu casts this Flock of Doom, but I quickly realized that and pull my units, spread them out in different sides, so it does minimal damage. So in this map, there are so many of these obstacles. Like this is an obstacle, impenetrable, right? So this is an obstacle. You can see more to the right. There are like all kinds of like swamps and obelisks, and I don't know what this is about. I don't really know the lores that well. So the bottom line is like, yeah, here is a graveyard. It makes it really hard to move information. Like if I try to move up, it's really tough. Like my lines have to break all the time. So yeah, that's why you can see like my units are awkwardly placed. They were in perfect formation, I promise. But now, guys, I saw that he doesn't have any archers. Basically, because of this, I can just sit with my flyers. I guess he didn't expect any archers from me too. Maybe he expected like a heavy foot square build. So I think this just gives me tactical advantage. You can see he tries to do something to my Pegasus Knights. He misses actually the Flock of Doom, and it does 6 HP damage. Right? Even if my opponent hit them, it wouldn't be so great. So I think bringing at least one group of archers is absolutely a staple for any unit. Even if your, you know, skirmishers are not that great, just bring them, because now I can just force my hand anytime. I can just, you know, park, and as soon as he slips up, like if he, you know, puts Durthu a little bit on the outside without cover, I'll just jump him. And the Royal Pegasus Knights, they'll do great against you know, large units. Granted, he has some armor, and Pegasus Knights, they're not really good at armor piercing, but still. Now I can just follow him, like, you know, the seagulls follow a huge whale or a shark. I don't know if they really do that, but that's what I'm doing. And I realized that, you know, since I have archers, I really want to have like a clean, you know, clean cone of fire. And as you can see here, I moved them a little bit up. I just didn't want to be, you know, too trollish and, you know, run into the, you know, into the Shadow Realm. Yeah, I still have some, you know, separation here, but anyway, I got a little bit antsy and I just decided to move up my archers, and now you can see the fire stars. So of course he casts this Flock of Doom, but again I pull out my units and I try to snipe his Trikin. So my bottom plan is, guys, I'll just throw in these 2 peasant mobs to break all the charges. They will die in like microseconds, but then I'll just reinforce them with the Battle Pilgrims, who have quite high melee defense, right? It's not actually that high, 28, but well, they can survive for quite some time. And then I'll have these 2 units of foot squares and auxiliary in case he breaks through. And my main fighting units are of course my bowmen. You can see they survive 2 flocks of Doom, but they still have 68 models left. So I think casting Flock of Doom on the skirmisher is not that great, because it doesn't matter how healthy they are, they always fire, you know, with the same damage basically. So anyway, yeah, so I'll be peppering his trees with fire damage, and they have weakness to fire, right? So they'll take extra damage from the fire arrows, and you can see how well it is going. Yeah, and then of course my main power, the thrusts by this Royal Pegasus Knights, one group, second group, and my paladin. So if I see a weakness on either flank, maybe I'll just start working my way through the flanks, and then I'll just try to destroy his monstrous units and his lord. His lord is also wooden, and he's pretty big, and you can see he took some damage actually from this overcasting, I guess. So yeah, you can see these trees are taking quite good damage actually from those filthy peasant archers, and you can see he breaks through with one unit of war dancers, and my peasants start to drop so quickly, but I reinforce with foot squares, and they'll do really well against war dancers. And you can see now, I saw that, you know, this blob was a little bit separated from the main fight. Here he has of course such, you know, a superiority in numbers. I parked my Fey Enchantress just to drain him a little bit, but anyway, I saw this blob separated, and I decided to pounce on these trees and destroy this right wing for me really quickly. And you can see these Royal Pegasus Knights and the Paladin, they do immense damage to Tricking. Granted, they still have all the models left, but they have no heal in the army, so they'll be just, you know, pounded on from the back, and it causes all kinds of leadership damage. And as you can see, he didn't realize actually that I have Pegasi here. He should have put his Azrai Spears right here to reinforce this blob. You can see the peasants are routing, but it doesn't really matter because another charge from the Royal Pegasus Knights comes in and just destroys this Streaking. Look at this, they're shattered, I mean not shattered, they're broken, they'll start to run away. And he breaks through in the center, but I just push my, archers back. This guy's got routed by this initial charge, and I switch the fire on Durthu, and he's taking great fire, and you can see that was dangerous. He pushed him basically unsupported all the way from the middle because he saw those squishy archers. But now the tide's turned. My Fey Enchantress is here. She's applying all kinds of negative penalties. She's draining those guys, and she has this Mist of the Lady, right? So as you guys can see, right there. So on the Durthu icon, let's see if I can catch it. Yep. So he has actually -8 melee attack, which is good. And of course the same applies to the War Dancer. So the melee attack is 42 instead of 50. And basically I just routed those trees. Even if they come back, they have so few HP. And now I believe my second archers came back, and I put them back on Durthu, right? And look how quickly he's taking all this point blank fire damage. And of course I just switched my Pegasus Knights on him, and he has a lot of armor, but Pegasus Knights will still destroy him. You can see his support in the form of one War Dancer unit is fleeing. And he casted this nice Flock of Doom spell, but as soon as he, this wears out, I still have all those healthy units right here, and I cast a heal. So look at that. Durthu is routing, War Dancers are routing. These guys, War Dancers, will be routed very quickly. And granted, he is really overwhelming in the middle. Look, this Battle Pilgrims, they got dumped on. And these guys also, the Spearman Arms, actually they're holding pretty well against this 3. They're holding up 3 units. This is suboptimal play by my opponent, I guess. He could have just moved 1 or maybe even 2 units in the middle. But bottom line is Durthu is now fleeing, and he's not going away, guys. Because I have a fast Paladin, I have a fast Fey Enchantress. And my opponent reacts really well. He tries to intercept my chasing units with the anti-large units as War Dancers, as Ray Spears, but I just decide to distract these guys in turn by my Paladin and keep chasing with Fey Enchantress. And you know, guys, how stupid sometimes in this game is this chasing, yeah? But Durthu is big, he will not be staggered, and even if Fey Enchantress misses him, look, you can see that his health will be actually dropping every second. She will be just draining him to death. Of course, she hits him and drains him, which is really great. And now, basically, this is game over, right? So, one unit of Treeman is routed in the back, and now I just clean the shop. So I attacked another Treekin unit with my Pegasus Knights. If they got, bogged down by the Eternal Guard, this is not great. But anyway, my goal was just those monstrous units, because if I can get rid of them, then yeah, I will just win. And you can see now that the Durthu is pretending to be one of those logs. Oh, maybe he's not pretending, he's actually a dead log right there. My lady just killed him. Yeah, and those skulls on his trees, he's not gonna add anything to them. And now you can see the balance bar is so heavily in my favor, and all my opponent's forces start to rout, and it becomes a mass shatter because he has no other leadership units around to support. So yeah, overall it turned out to be a really comfortable win. I think the key to that were my, of course, Pegasi, who did really well. They all got, they didn't have chevrons in the beginning of the fight. This is something that they earned. And of course, these peasant bowmen with fires were clutch. They didn't look like they did a lot of, job, but actually this HP damage that they inflicted on Durthu and Trikin was absolutely gorgeous. You can see my army, actually none of the units did too well. Look at those filthy peasants. 0 kills and they ran away. Anyway, like only one unit has actually more than 50 kills. These Battle Pilgrims. Even my Foot Squires, like this unit was in auxiliary the whole time. So not a remarkable performance by any means from any of those units. But he didn't have a big army to start with, and basically I just killed half of it and the rest terror routed. You can see it's about half. And he had really good performance, like all those chevroned up eternal guards. I don't know what's that about, but his war dancers did really well. Like 3 units scored more than 50 kills, but I really managed to kill the Trikin really quickly, and I think his flock of dooms did not really do that much of work. I think bringing at least one or maybe better 2 units of skirmishers, or at least 1 unit of cavalry for my opponent would be, in retrospect, would be much better, because I just tanked out all the damage by all those war dancers and killed his leadership. And of course, maybe he should have been more conservative with Durthu. But otherwise, yeah, this is how it ended. That was the end of the first battle in second round, and I realized that actually I have quite good chances to take the match against such a titled and renowned opponent. So yeah, let's see how I do in our next game. All right, thanks guys, and see you next time.